Ubisoft is already facing so many issues when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows that they don't need another situation added onto the pile, but they definitely are not going to have an easy time with Star Wars Outlaws either. This is a game that has not been positively received, and of course, everyone has been laughing at the girl boss lead character, the mediocre looking gameplay, and just the promises they're making that they probably won't end up keeping. But now we're finding out that Ubisoft has put more money into marketing Star Wars Outlaws than any other game before. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, we expected them to be putting a lot of money towards Assassin's Creed Shadows and, of course, Star Wars Outlaws, but it looks like they are dumping even more money than we initially anticipated because in a recent financial update, Ubisoft CEO revealed that the firm has put more money and effort into marketing Star Wars Outlaws than any other Ubisoft game ever released. And he's also stressed that the company expects a strong launch based on the positive community sentiment circulating the project, but that actually is a complete and utter lie. There has not been an overwhelming amount of positivity surrounding this game. Every single official teaser and trailer has actually gotten ratioed by gamers who are not impressed with what they've seen. We also just had gotten 5 days ago, 10 minutes of exclusive gameplay from IGN, and womp, womp, womp. It's sitting at 11,000 upvotes to 36,000 downvotes. And if you really start to pay attention to the likes versus dislikes on the trailers, none of them have a positive reaction. Even if you go to the comments, thousands and thousands of people, on in this case 3,269, it's filled with people saying it doesn't look good. 10 solid minutes of don't pre-order energy. How to save 80 euros in 10 minutes. She is completely unfazed by the exploding barrel in immediate proximity. An enemy further away instantly expires from the explosion. WTF is that? So we're going to ignore the frame drops and San Andreas-like explosions. Graphic settings left the chat. I know what I have seen so far has left me extremely underwhelmed. I am not someone who is going to get very easily excited by cinematic trailers, and it really seems like that's where all of the budget went. Now, we know that cinematic trailers are much easier to market because you can kind of splice them together and create a teaser that looks a lot more cohesive than if you've got like lots of explosions going on and like someone hasn't been properly introduced to the game yet. So companies do rely heavily on cinematic trailers for marketing purposes, but I'm not buying a movie. I don't care about what the cinematics look like. I care about what the gameplay looks like. I care about the features like the map and the reputation system and how you're penalized when you die. Those are the things that I, as a gamer, care about. And to see Ubisoft CEO straight up lie and say they expect a strong launch based on the positive community sentiment is hilarious because either he is not looking at social media and the people working right under him that are giving him this information directly are lying to him, or he is simply lying because he knows the truth, yet he still doesn't want people to freak out. It's like they don't want people to kind of know the truth. Probably like investors, they don't want them to catch wind that everything surrounding this has been negative so far. So he's either intentionally lying and thinks that we are stupid, or he is unintentionally lying and he's stupid. It says, of course, though, however, a recent gameplay video that surfaced online drew negative feedback based on how unpolished the game looks. Again, every single trailer has been completely and utterly annihilated by gamers. Here is the official story trailer, 41,000 likes to 185,000 dislikes, over 15, nearly 16,000 comments of people saying it doesn't look great, and Ubisoft told me to get comfortable not owning their games. I'm going to be very comfortable not buying this. This is what happens when you are creating mediocre products and then you have heads of subscription services coming out and saying things like gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games. It sounds ridiculous and it makes people not want to purchase your titles. At the end of the day, if purchasing your product isn't owning it, then pirating isn't stealing. That's the mentality shift that we have seen in customers because we are sick and tired of being bullied and being lied to. And of course, then you have the creatives calling us ists and phobes for doing something as simple as criticizing the way that a game looks or the dialogue a character has or the general story that they're presenting to us. It is absolutely ridiculous that they continue to expect us to swipe our credit cards, even though they've admitted they straight up hate us or they just view us as piggy banks. And a big reason why I personally believe they have put so much money towards this game from the development to the marketing is because it's Star Wars, because of Disney. As of 2021, EA no longer has the exclusive license to Star Wars games, and with that came companies like Ubisoft being able to make games like Outlaws. They are trying to be the standout and win over Disney and say, oh, we can make you money. Look, this is how confident we are by putting, the most amount of money we ever have into marketing, but will that turn out well for them? So far, it doesn't look like it, and I don't really think so. I mean, we don't know the exact budget for this game, but it so far sounds like it is upwards of $200 million in totality, and I feel like it probably is even a bit higher than that, but the game has already been so highly criticized. They're saying it's open world, but open world games are very risky because you have to do something unique and original, and I mean, we already got really good open world with something like Star Wars Fallen Order. We, of course, have highly criticized the female Kay Vess, the protagonist, because they basically uglified her model. They had a beautiful actress playing this character, and then the final product in game is nowhere close to the way the actress actually looks, even though we had someone like Cameron Monaghan looking basically copy and pasted into Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Plus, the monetization hasn't been something people were happy with. Of course, there, as far as we know right now, are no microtransactions, but they put a $130 edition out there that, yes, does have exclusive pre-order content and content locked behind the higher edition. So it's technically not a microtransaction, but it definitely is something that is going to upset a lot of people because you ultimately do, yes, have to spend more money on the higher tier edition. So all of these things together have not gone over well for them so far. And yes, every trailer, every teaser, every piece of content they're releasing on social media has been ratioed, and a lot of people are feeling very unhappy with what they have seen so far. Now, maybe when this game comes out, yes, it will go over amazingly. There will be tons of people buying it, but at the same time, the backlash so far has been very intense, and I definitely think a lot of people have taken a step back and they no longer are just blindly purchasing content because, oh, it says Star Wars. Nobody really trusts Disney at this point. Nobody really trusts Ubisoft, so it's kind of a match made in hell there, and it will be interesting to see what happens with this game, how they continue to market it leading up to release. So far, there have been a lot of advertisements on social media between, YouTube and X, and it seems that there are a lot of outlets and content creators talking about this game, but that doesn't necessarily mean it is all going to lead to sales. They can only hope that it will. Only time will tell, but for now, they are saying that they've put the most amount of money into marketing than any other game, and they are probably crossing their fingers that this pays off well for them. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.